Okay, we're live. Hello and welcome to an awesome day today. Isn't it an awesome day? My name is Tammy Anderson Ward, and I am your host today for our exciting experiences that we have coming up. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a heads up, I'm going to be doing a preview to our Reiki Connect Online Summit here for the first half hour of today. We will also be just kind of getting your questions that you might have around Reiki and talking about that. I'd also like to really connect with you on doing some giveaways that we have coming up. We also have two exciting speakers that will be joining me a little bit later. The amazing Shelley Jo Wahlstrom, if you've ever met her or experienced anything from her, she is the creator of Shelley Jo's Hypno aminos. And she's a dear friend of mine also, and she's going to be speaking about brain health and even more in regards to how it can help with seasonal depression, addictions, being able to have more energy naturally, all kinds of yummy stuff. So I'm excited to have her joining us. That will be today at 10:50. And then we will also be having Dr. Mike Gerard. He will be joining us, and he is one of the top experts in the world of BFR. He teaches health professionals, trainers, and athletes every day in all 50 states in how to implement exercise technology into daily lives. And if you're like me, I'm always looking for things that actually work, that are shortcuts that can really help me to improve. If I can take, a half an hour worth of workout and turn it into an hour worth of results, I'm all over it. So that's why we've invited him to come on. I'm super excited about that. So good morning. If you're just joining us, please tell us where you're tuning in from. And I'd also like to have you answer this question for me, which is have you ever experienced a Reiki session? Have you ever gone in specifically for Reiki, or has a massage therapist done Reiki for you? I want to kind of get some feedback from you to see how experienced my audience is with Reiki thus far. So you might be a Reiki practitioner. If you are, welcome. Please join us by letting us know that you are a Reiki practitioner down in the comments, and maybe even where you're tuning in from. If you are not a Reiki practitioner, but you yourself have had Reiki done for you, please let us know that, and also where you're tuning in from as well. We're excited to hear from you, and I want to kind of get a feel for how experienced my audience is with that. And I also want to find out from you guys if you happen to have any questions about that as well. So please feel free to drop those down in the comments. As always, we're here every Friday morning, 10 a.m. So if you happen to be at work during the day or school or somewhere else, you can always tune in later when you get home or over the weekend and tune in for the presentations and the connection opportunities that we have here. I love having our speakers come on and present and teach and just be able to connect with you guys. So I'm super excited about that. Mike says, I've done Reiki and animal Reiki for over 8 years now. I love it. Thank you so much, Mike, for sharing. And that also brings in another component of it, which is, yes, you can do Reiki for animals. I love that. Thank you guys so much. It looks like we've got a Reiki practitioner from Oregon as well. Woohoo! If you guys are looking for a way to be able to get your questions answered from a research-based perspective, you're wanting to be more informed and have the education to empower your clients or other people who might not know what it is, I'm excited to present this opportunity for you, which is a free summit that we've put together for you, where we're going to be bringing on medical doctors, scientists, and other researchers, including Reiki practitioners as well. And this is going to be happening each day next week. Monday, you can tune in 10 a.m. That's not going to be happening on this page. You actually will need to pre-register for this summit. I'm going to give you a link here in just a second, but let me tell you about it first. In the information provided, this is an experience for the community, so that they can become more educated about it. We're going to be talking about getting you more familiar with what it is, the history of Reiki, some things that you can even do for yourself. So even if you're not Reiki attuned or instructed, certified yet, you haven't been to a Reiki class, but you'd like to know things that you can do. If you are a Reiki, or excuse me, if you're not Reiki certified yet, but you'd like to be Reiki certified, you'd like to learn more about that. If you are a licensed healthcare worker and you'd like to be able to learn how to do it for your patients, we have a medical doctor that's going to be coming on. He is a world-renowned emergency medicine medical doctor from New York. He's going to be on Monday. He's going to kick us off on Monday. And if any of these things really speak to you, I'd really love to have you participate. It is free for the first 200 people who register. I'd also like to encourage you, we are going to be talking about the local laws, how to find out when they change as it pertains to Reiki. This is for the consumer and the practitioner to have this information. So pre-registration is required because we do have limited spaces to participate in this. So if you are registered, great. Thank you so much for registering. We appreciate that. If you are not yet registered, but you would like the pre-registration link, I'm going to go ahead and drop it in the comments for you so that you guys can go ahead and click on that link and go get registered right away. I also do have some of the information up about our first two speakers that's happening on Monday and Tuesday. I'm adding more speakers to that same page today. So you'll see even more people being added. We have a mid-aged woman who's going to be on speaking on our panelist page. That is on Wednesday. She will be joined by, we have a gentleman who has been doing Reiki as a profession for the last 18 years. We also have another woman who's going to be joining us from the East Coast. And so we have a variety of different Reiki practitioners who are going to be joining us on that panelist. And what I'd like to do today is to ask you, thank you so much for joining us, you guys. What I'd like to do today is to ask you, what are some of the questions that you have around Reiki? So thank you, Mike, for mentioning your first question is, how do you explain it? I'd love to have you guys go ahead and drop your comments down here for me under this video, whether you're on YouTube or you're in a group or you're on my personal page. I don't care where you're from. I'd love to have you just go ahead and drop your comments. You guys ask us the hard ones too, because we have these third-party researchers who've been studying it for decades, and they can answer some of the questions for you. Some of the questions so far that we've had coming in are things like, does it matter if you go to a male or a female or a non-binary gender? Like, does that matter? Is one more effective versus the other? And the answer is no, that doesn't matter. What about age? Can a 5-year-old do Reiki? Can a 90-year-old do Reiki? The answer is yes. Age doesn't matter. What if the person is healthy versus non-healthy? Is the Reiki still, is it still effective? Does it still work? If the person is, struggling with their own stuff, does it still work if they are there doing Reiki for the people? And then what does Reiki mean? Okay. So these are some of the questions that we're going to be answering. And I'd love to be able to have more questions that maybe you've been wondering about. Maybe you just don't even know what it is. And you're like, I don't know what that means. What is it? This is an educational summit. This is the link that you're going to use to go get registered for that. It's just right on our website, energyhealingconference.com. You can either just go put that in, right there, and it's on my homepage. You can just click on that button right there and just register yourself. By the way, it's 100% free for the first 200 people to register. And then if you would like to join after that, or if you'd like to have a recording of it after next week, that will be available for a nominal fee. We're making it very, very affordable for the public. So Luana says, how do you receive Reiki long distance? That's a great question. We're going to go ahead and cover that one as well. Thank you so much. That's definitely a thing, and I really appreciate that. Other things that we'd like to cover as it pertains to this educational online summit that's going to be happening next week is we'd like to actually show you footage of the research that's happening. We have Dr. Thornton Streeter, who's going to be showing images from the biofield viewer. As energy healing is being done, you can see the actual aura, you can see it shifting and the movement that is happening. So you can see it in real time on this footage. And I love that kind of stuff because, you know, as technology has advanced and evolved, more information has come to light. And anyone who's been following me at all on my personal page or even at the conferences, you know that I'm a big proponent of, if you get new information, you're allowed to change your decisions. You're allowed to make new choices based off of the new information. And so a lot of people who've maybe been more skeptical or reluctant to do energy healing, especially Reiki, they find out the education, the research and the data about it, and then they're a little bit more comfortable understanding it. Okay. Now, we don't have, you know, answers to everything, of course. You know, we're not Google. That's the funny thing. That's just a joke. Sorry. But that is a real thing. Like, we don't have answers to everything, but I would like to share with you what we do know. Okay. So that summit is designed with a variety of people in mind. Mothers and fathers who are looking for additional support options for their families. Healthcare providers, including mental health, who are committed to education and empirical research. Reiki professionals and healing arts advocates who are looking for evidence-based research to empower their clients, and those who are just looking for more peace and relaxation. Because when it comes right down to it, Reiki is a Japanese release and stress release technique. Relaxation technique. Okay, so I'm excited to be able to answer some of these questions for you. If you go on that page, you're going to see that there's just a button at the top. You're welcome to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to take you directly to that registration page. So very, very simply put. Okay, now, so I feel like we all win because that's free for the first 200 people who register for that. So that is a huge giveaway, and I'm so excited about that. For those of you who don't know, I've joined the board for the NCCOEP, and what that is the National Certification Center of Energy Practitioners. And if you are interested in more of the science about Reiki, the first person to kick off our summit next week is Dr. Brian Daly, and he is the president of the NCCOEP. He's a friend of mine, and I'm so excited to have him bring this research to light. Really, I feel like sometimes the cultures that we live in or the traditions around the area that we live in might have some preconceived notions about different things like Reiki. I know that for me, I've had a lot of people who've commented on the page as time's gone on, people saying just really weird stuff. And so that's really why I really want to bring to light this education and information that is based off of actual research and data. So that's what I'm really excited about. So please go to our link there. It's just energyhealingconference.com. There is a page that has all of the information, or you can also just go right to our just energyhealingconference.com, and it's just right there. You just push the button, and then what will happen is we will be sending you out an email over the weekend, probably a couple, because we want to give you the information about the schedule with the speakers, and then we also just want to send you a reminder. You'll probably get one reminder each day just saying, hey, like we're coming up. That will be available through the end of Thursday. And so if you would like to purchase it so that you can get that data out there for your clients and you'd like to be able to review it or share it with other people, you can do that. That will be for a nominal fee under $25, you guys. We're making it super affordable. So I'm super excited for the speakers and for all of the sponsors who are going to be on talking about that. So yeah, that's a big deal. Okay, Shirlene says, what is Reiki? Yeah, so we summed it up pretty easily. It's a Japanese relaxation technique. I'm super excited to be able to have speakers on during the summit next week where they will be showing people step by step some of the techniques that you can do. For me, what I experienced personally was a huge increase in my ability to be able to feel energy. I could already feel energy before that. I had been able to my whole life. But after my very first Reiki class, it went up by about 10 times just in my hands. So I'm going to have you guys do something with me right now. If you want to, if you're able to, if you're driving, probably don't do this. But if you can, go ahead, and I want you to go ahead and just rub your hands together. And I want to just bring to light that you have hundreds of energy vortexes that come out of the palm of your hand. You'll be able to see it in the biofield viewer during the Reiki Connect Online Summit next week. They also come out of the tips of all of your fingers. Okay. So what I want you to do is, just as you go ahead and rub your hands together, I want you to go ahead and press your fingertips together a few times, and then go ahead and hold your hands out. So they're a couple inches apart. And I want you to pay attention to the vibration and the energy between your hands. Okay, now some people, they can't really feel it the first few times. I was one of them. I wasn't able to, as I had an instructor trying to teach me about how to feel energy. I couldn't feel it. Go ahead and touch them on there a few more times and then pull them apart. What you're doing is you're going to increase your consciousness, your awareness to that space in between your hands. So if you will, just go ahead and touch them together, pull them apart. We're going to do this a couple different ways, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about what that means, what it could do for you, how it could benefit your life. By the way, if you want to be entered into our drawing for a Reiki session with me, I would love to have you first of all, stay tuned here for just a minute. Go ahead and participate with us. Then we're going to go ahead and tell you how to enter that. Go ahead and keep touching your fingers every once in a while. And then I want you to go ahead and start pulling them apart. Okay, I've done this with people before with the palm of their hands because that's where a big concentration of those vortices are. But we're doing it with your fingertips right now. It's a little bit different. So I'm going to have you go ahead and pull that, paying attention to how it feels. Okay. All right. And then I'll ask you in a minute if you could feel that. Okay. So go ahead and pull that out. By the way, you can teach this to your kids too. This is pretty cool when your kids are helping each other. I just posted a story recently about when my daughter was 5 and we were on the beach at Bear Lake in northern Utah. How a little girl said, "Here, let me Reiki you." And she started doing Reiki for my daughter when she stubbed her toe on a big rock. And my heart just like, I swear, just like jumped. I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. Yes, 5-year-olds can learn how to do Reiki. Okay. All right. So as you're doing that, I'm going to have you go ahead and switch so that it's now forming a ball of energy. Okay. And if you've done this before and you've felt it, cool. If you've done this before and not felt it, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to increase that. Okay. One of them is to pull and push, kind of pull the energy apart. What you're doing is you're making it a little bit more concentrated, and then pulling on it. And remember, you're really increasing your awareness right in that space between your hands. I'm going to see if I can get Dr. Thornton Streeter to do this right in the biofield viewer so that you can actually see this on Tuesday when we're doing that Reiki Online Summit. Okay. And I want to especially invite people who are unfamiliar and skeptical to Reiki so that they can come and learn about that and get the real education on it. If you yourself are a Reiki practitioner and you don't know about the research, I also highly recommend you coming to that as well. Because just because you went to a class or got certified doesn't guarantee you that you even have that information or you're familiar with the laws in the state that you live in or that you are doing, Reiki sessions for. And yes, that applies. So, okay, so as you're doing this and you've been pulling it apart, okay, now I'm going to have you go ahead and clear your hands one more time. And let's do it again, okay? Because some people, when they do it, they think, oh, it's just because I've been doing it for a while and I'm just making it happen and it's not real. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to really okay, so you cleared your hands. Let's have you do it again. This time I'm going to have your hands go flat. Okay, so we've done it from fingertip to fingertip. Then we did it in the shape of a ball, like we're forming dough, like bread dough or Play-Doh. This time I'm going to have you do your hands so that they are flat. Okay, and I know you guys have probably done this before if you've been on our page before. If not, cool, let's do it. Let's play. What we're doing is we're adding our intention and we're really focusing in on the space between our hands, okay? Yes, definitely. Energy balls are so energizing. But this is something that I'm encouraging you to do because I'd like for you to actually be able to know a little bit more and feel it for yourself. Okay? So this is different than just an energy ball. Mm. Okay? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pump it again. In and out. We're kind of pushing and pulling on that space right there. And sometimes people might feel it to be a tingling sensation. Sometimes people might feel it to even have a temperature change, or it might appear to feel completely different than that. Okay, so as you guys are doing this right now, I want you to think of how you would describe it, what you can feel. Maybe like a buzzing, even. I'm trying to describe what I'm feeling right now. Okay. All right. Now, if you'd like to be entered in the contest for a private Reiki session giveaway, I'm going to do it distance. Then what I'd like to have you do is go ahead and add your favorite emoji down in the comments, and then maybe even add a comment with a word that would describe what you felt during that experience. Okay, now as we're doing this, I want to kind of give you a little bit of instruction on what it is that I'm personally doing. Okay, you can add the vibration of certain frequencies. For example, emotions. They can even now with technology that is advanced enough that you can actually there's different hertz frequencies for every single emotion. For example, love or even being afraid, excited, all these different emotions that there are, they actually have a frequency that they have measured that have a consistent number that's assigned to them because they come up with various different people. It doesn't even matter who they are, what age they are, what walk of life they come from. Like none of that even matters. But the emotion that they describe has a pattern. It's a certain frequency that it is. So if you were wanting to have more of a certain emotion that you're trying to bring into play, this is a big deal. And I want to share a personal experience that just happened yesterday. I got a concussion last week. Don't ask me how, it was kind of embarrassing, but I did get a concussion on Thursday, and I was driving yesterday. I was taking my taxes over to a guy that lives about a half an hour away, or his office is about a half an hour away from me. And in order to get there, I had to drive from my house to Logan. So kind of actually by where we're going to be doing the Logan conference. And as I was driving over there, I got to a stop sign that it's a two-way stop, right? So I had to stop at the stop sign, and the road in front of me is just a clear throughway. And I got froze. I took about 15 minutes to be able to get through that stop sign. Has anybody ever had that happen after a concussion or a stressful experience or like an emotional trauma or anything like that? For me, I was frozen and I ended up having to actually turn instead of going straight like I originally was going to do. So I went ahead and pulled over and I did some self Reiki, and then I ended up doing a tapping session for myself. It took me about 15 minutes before I felt like I was able to go again. And I just thought to myself, this is like I'm a student of this work. That's how I know it works, is because when I have things happen in my own life or with my own family or different things like that, like I literally know it works because I've seen it time and time again. This is like, we're talking like I've known about this now for 9 years and I'm still using it. That is a big deal when you can actually have that happen, right? And it comes up like that. So let's see some of the things that some of the words that people use to describe that simple activity that we just did. Mike said, for me, it's a pulsing. Okay. Jen Gangoras, she says, electric points. Sweet. I love your emojis, by the way, that you guys are using. Brandy Castellan says, I felt my fingers tingling and then tightening. Cool. That's awesome. I've never heard it described like that. So thanks for sharing that. Bonnie says comfort. Kathy Wilkes says a force. Slight tingling, but not much. Cool. I felt nothing the first time I ever did this. Like absolutely nothing. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel one thing. It took me practice and also added intention before I could feel it. Let's see. I usually feel tingling and warmth and a buzz. Cool. Robin says heat. Yeah, I felt like a heat, and then it actually would kind of change and go to coolness as well. Luana says stability. Awesome. Lorraine. Hey, Lorraine. Are you still are you in Mesquite? Or did you already go back up to Idaho Falls? Let's see. She says, it felt like trying to push two magnets together when they repel each other, kind of bouncy like that. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that as well. And for those of you who didn't comment, I'm assuming maybe you're driving and just listening to this, or maybe you didn't feel anything. If you didn't feel anything, I want to actually give you a little bit of peace about that, because I didn't feel anything the first few times. I had to practice. So if you haven't ever practiced doing that, or if you've never done that before, please just know that it sometimes just takes a few times. It's like a learning curve. The first time I tried to pick up a violin and play the violin, it sounded awful. It did not sound like anything. Sometimes it takes you practice whenever there's a learning curve to really be able to tune into it. Same thing with when I took Spanish in 8th grade. I tried so hard to to roll my R's and to do things so that it sounded like the teacher who was instructing. And I had a hard time. It took repetition to be able to get the sounds to come out better so that it sounded more like what she was trying. I don't want to say I'm an expert with that, but after living in Queens for 6 months, I could do it a little bit better. So that's nice. So let's see. Oh, awesome. You're in Mesquite. That's awesome. Awesome. Peace and tons of relaxation. That's awesome, Tatiana. I love it. Okay, so let's see. When that happens to me, EFT tapping, I spun out in bad weather and slid under diesel trailer. Oh my gosh, that's awful. So yeah, I actually kind of feel like that whenever I get around to diesel also, because I got cut off really bad once, and same thing. And so every once in a while you'll see me driving down the freeway with one hand on my steering wheel and one hand on the top of my head, or just kind of tapping along. And I'm so grateful to know that there is, again, science behind tapping as well. One of my cousins, I was recently talking with her, and she was sharing with me, no, I don't do energy healing, but she did she was familiar with tapping. Her doctor had let her know about that. So anytime that she was having anxiety, she could do tapping. So yeah, I mean, the reason why a doctor would be, suggesting that is because there is a science behind it. And I know that even at the VA that they suggest tapping for PTSD, for soldiers who've had that. And the reason why they do that, you guys, is, and why I consider it to be an energy healing, is because they are tapping on meridian points. And the meridians are the energetic pathways that are flowing in the body. Why do we know about it? Because science has proven that they are there. It's not just somebody's idea. It's not just a thing that people are talking about. There is a lot of evidence-based research that it's there. And actually, acupuncture deals with the meridians. Tapping is the acupressure points. Okay, so it's very similar, but it's the meridian points. So very cool. Ginger says, I agree with the magnetic repel feeling. The closer my hands get, I can feel it squishing out the sides of my hands. Yeah, because it's like a concentrated way to get that energy in, right? All right, so if you're interested in doing a Reiki session with me, if you'd be interested in doing that, go ahead and get registered for the Reiki Connect Online Summit. And then all you have to do, if you're already registered, you can just go ahead and put registered down in the comments. And if you would like to be invited in on this contest that we're going to do for this giveaway right now, I just invite you to go ahead and click on the link for the Reiki Connect Online Summit. And all you have to do, or you can just go right to energyhealingconference.com, and it's right there at the top of the homepage as well. But go ahead and put registered down in the comments. Let me know that you're all registered for that. And then we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway for a private distance Reiki session with me. And we'll get that scheduled in the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited about that. I'd also love to encourage you guys to find a local Reiki practitioner and try it out. If it's not something that you've ever tried, but you would like to experience it, you most likely will want to try it after the Reiki Summit. One of the other things that we will be doing in that particular summit is we will be talking about how to find a reputable Reiki practitioner, how to know, their business ethics, do they have business insurance, and do they have a business license? And if you yourself are a Reiki practitioner and you don't have any one of those things, we highly recommend that you go and get those so that we can bring that credibility even that much more to this industry. I know some people say, oh, I just do it for friends, but if you are doing it and charging money for it, it should be definitely by the books. Okay, so we want to encourage you guys to do that. Also in the summit, we'll be talking about some of the laws that are in effect to protect not just the practitioner, but also the consumer as well. And I am a huge believer in making sure that people are doing things by the book so people are protected. It's a safety thing. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is let's take a look at woohoo! Thank you so much for getting registered, you guys. And I'm so excited to hear from your perspective how that goes. So we've got, again, Dr. Brian Daly is going to be on Monday kicking us off. And then Tuesday, we'll have Dr. Thornton Streeter. He's originally from the UK, but he has lived in India and Colorado half of the years until COVID. Now he's in Mexico, but probably be going back to Colorado soon. But he's a friend of mine. He's been on before talking about the biofield viewer. I'm so excited to hear all of his feedback on that. Then on Wednesday, we will be having a panel of master practitioners with Reiki. And then Thursday, we'll be having additional classes. There'll be 2 classes. The first one will be taught by Heather Rose. She'll be talking about some of the things that people who are just lay people who are not certified in Reiki yet, but would like to be able to know some things that they can do for their family. And she'll be teaching on Thursday, and then we'll have one more speaker after that. So let's go ahead and do a giveaway. All right. The first one that is going to win today is Angel Bennett. And Angel Bennett, congratulations. Looks like you're on YouTube, that platform. So yeah, and if you guys are on YouTube and you haven't yet subscribed to our channel there, we'd love to have you join in. That is another way for you to be able to access all of our videos. So if you're not on Facebook as often or as regularly, that's another place that you can go and grab our videos as well. We're under Hope Haven Events and Energy Healing Conference, so you can find us there. So congratulations to Angel Bennett. I'm so excited for you to be able to get that. Will you please go ahead and send me a message so that we can get you all lined up for that? Now I'd like to go ahead and do 10 giveaways for our course, or excuse me, not our course, our conference that's coming up in Logan, Utah. That's on April 2nd. Now I have a virtual ticket and I also have a live ticket. So you get to choose. If you'd like to be entered in and get one of those tickets, please put down either Logan Conference in the comments, or you can also choose virtual Logan Conference. So please go ahead and put those down in the comments and let me know if you'd like to participate in that. If you are closer to the Idaho Falls area, I also have some tickets for the Idaho Falls. You're going to want to go ahead and indicate down in the giveaway box here in our comments if you are interested in the Idaho Falls or if you are interested in the Logan Conference. So now this is a great way for you to be able to get exposed to energy healing. You can come and enjoy a full day of classes and vendors and connections and meet people who are also interested. If you are a business owner and you would like to be able to find out how to be a vendor at our Logan Conference, we still have a few spots left, and that is happening 2 weeks from tomorrow. So I'll go ahead and put the link for the Logan vendor information down in the comments. Now, if you're sending a message to us letting us know that you would like to be at the conference, you are automatically going to be a winner for that. You're going to want to message us over on our inbox for the Facebook page or to our email. And I'm going to go ahead and put the email down in the comments so that you'll have that as well, just to make sure that you have it. Yes, the Idaho Falls Conference is going to be awesome as well. So let me go ahead and include the information about the Idaho Falls Conference for those of you who are up that way. I know in the past, our Idaho Falls Conference has attracted people from Montana and Wyoming, even over from Washington, and then they're coming down even from Canada to be able to attend that particular one, and then of course up from Utah as well. But this particular conference is happening on April 9th. And April 9th so it's just a week away from the Logan Conference. So that will be in 3 weeks. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about that one. It's got a unique thing that's going to be kicking us off that day. And that is that Cami Harvey, who is a local therapist and also sound healer, is going to be doing a very large community drum circle. Now, she's got over 200 instruments herself that she's going to be coming, and we're all going to start off the conference by drumming together. So she's got drums and all different types of instruments. If you saw us on our retreat sneak peek page, you may have seen some of the other things she's brought back from Peru and other places around the world. She also visited Iceland and has done a lot of research in all of this sound healing to be able to really provide a very healing and authentic experience for the people who are there. She's very dedicated to the research and the science of it. And she is a certified sound healer, so she's familiar with how it affects the energy fields. I know that she goes around and does corporate events. She did this for my retreat up in Idaho Falls a few weeks ago. And she's just such a light, you guys. She has such a great smile. She's a fun person, but she's very, very good at incorporating everyone into it. So I'm super excited to be able to get that information out to people, but also provide them with an experience. So that will be starting at about 8:30 on April 9th up in Idaho Falls. That will be happening at the Snake River Event Center on Lindsay Boulevard. If you're watching this right now and you have friends that are in the area, please tag them, let them know about it, send them the link. It's going to be a really fun experience. We've done an Idaho Falls conference every year since 2014, with the exception of the last couple of years. So we're very excited to be back and very excited to be able to bring some awesome vendors there. Now, if you yourself are a business and you would like to have a vendor space, be sure to message me as well so we can get you the details on that. All right, guys, I'm ready for just a few more giveaways. If you are interested in attending our St. George conference, I know everybody's like, drum roll, right? Because St. George has been one of our largest conferences since the beginning, clear since back 2014. And also over the last couple of years, because of some different things that have been happening in the world, we've not been able to attend there. So we are producing our St. George conference also in the month of April. It will be held on April 30th. So if you're closer to Arizona or Vegas, you're a little bit, closer down that way. We also have people that drive from California or Colorado, or people who fly in because it's such a very nice place. Lots of beautiful palm trees, got a very nice healing oasis type of energy there. I absolutely love St. George. In fact, I'm taking my family on vacation there next week. No, the end of next week. And I'm so excited, you guys. Like, St. George is, I don't know, I feel like it's a really special place for us to do conferences. And we already have some really unique speakers that are lined up that we've never had before. And so I just can't wait for you guys to be able to get in on that. One of my favorite speakers that's going to be there is Travis Brady. He's going to be speaking specifically to business owners. We'll also be having Mike Simpson, who will be there talking about healing through hypnosis and NLP. Michael Vanderplas will be there speaking from his perspective as an ISU nurse on the topic of suicide. We also have a couple of sound healers who are going to be coming from Las Vegas over to the St. George conference. If you're interested in the St. George conference, please put down St. George conference. Now, don't book that unless you know that you for sure can go to that one. But I want to go ahead and drop the link for that one so that you have that. And if you're interested in being a vendor, we literally only have 2 vendor spaces left because they are by invitation only. So if you're interested in that, make sure you for sure message me on that one. I know some people are like, they're like waiting for the like link to come up. It's not going up. It's going to be by invitation only. You can get that invitation by sending me a message and we can totally get that there. So yeah, I'm excited, you guys. Yes, end of April is perfect for St. George. I agree. So if you want a ticket for you and possibly even a guest, be sure to put St. George Conference down in the comments. I'm excited for that. Actually, my given name is Tamara, and that means palm tree. Did you guys know that? So I'm like, I need to be in palm tree weather right now for sure. I'm so excited. Okay, so again, I'm going to go ahead and reiterate our winners. We have Angel Bennett from Wyoming won our private distance Reiki session with me. I'm going to be going ahead and scheduling that with you. And then we've been giving many winners the option to join in as one of our first 200 registrations for the Reiki Summit. And I did go ahead and drop the comments down, I dropped the link down in the comments. I also would love to do more ticket giveaways. So we will be doing those through, I don't know, let's say through till noon. So if you're watching this and you tag somebody, they will still be able to qualify till noon today. So that's for Logan, which is April 2nd. And it's like 20 minutes from my house, you guys, 25 minutes from my house. I'm so excited. We are going to have food vendors there, which I'm like drooling looking at all of these food vendor pictures of their food and stuff. It's going to be awesome. And just really, really good space there. And then the next weekend, the next Saturday, I will be up in Idaho Falls, which I have well over 100 cousins that live in the area there. And we only have so much space. That will be a sold out event. So if you're watching this right now and you have an option to get in on a free ticket, like totally get in on that, right? The only one that we have a virtual ticket for is Logan. There are no virtual tickets that will be offered for either St. George or Idaho Falls. So just so you guys know that. So if you're saying virtual ticket, it's going to be for the April 2nd. So yeah, definitely. Okay. If you are saying that you want a ticket and we don't reach out to you, it's because we can't see who you are. So because of the way that this platform is set up, it is on different platforms. So I want to encourage you to reach out to us on our inbox for our Facebook page, or you can go ahead and also email us as well. Okay, you guys, I'm excited for our first speaker up, besides me, right? And that is the amazing Shelley Jo Wahlstrom. So I'm going to have you guys go ahead and join me in sending her some emojis. You can also do a quick heart on this video. But Shelley Jo is a friend of mine, and I'm so excited to bring her to our virtual stage today. So welcome.
Woo! Hey, Tam, how's it going?
Really good.
I'm so excited to be here. So fun, so exciting.
Heck yeah.
So it is.
It's
Friday.
Fun. Why don't you tell us what you're going to be talking about today, and then I'm going to turn the time over to you, babe.
Well, you know what? I have a surprise, Tammy. I'm so excited. I went yesterday and picked up my new, I want to say new because it's not really new, my new product. And so I'm going to be talking about that, but I'm really going to be talking about what I'm going to be speaking about in Idaho Falls, which is your brain ready for an upgrade? Awesome. I love it.
Oh, look at all these fun comments that you're getting. Julie says, "Hello, doll. Love you, Shelley Jo." Can you see the comments from where you are?
Oh, I can now. Yep, I was looking over on my computer. Okay. Now I can. Yay. That makes me happy.
I know, it's so cute. Okay, you guys are awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off and give her the time.
Oh my gosh, guys, I am so excited to be here. If I don't see your comment, it's because I'm going from phone to computer. But I would like to tell you that I am going to be speaking in Idaho Falls, just like I said. I'm going to miss Logan, sad because one of my favorites, and St. George, really sad because that is one of my very, very favorite conferences. But they land on my daughter's birthdays. Well, one's daughter's and one daughter's birthday, so I won't be there. I'm sad. I will be in Idaho Falls. Just like I said, my is brain ready for an upgrade. I want to know how many of you have heard me speak before, because I really don't know, and I don't want to keep going over the same thing over and over each time I speak, because I feel like if you heard me before, you're saying, "Come on, give me some more stuff," right? That's what I'm feeling. And the first thing I want to show you is I have a new product, guys. Are you so excited for me to share this with you? I'm not seeing any I don't see the comments very well, so that's anyway. If you're leaving me a comment, I'll look at it later because I don't know where they are. I don't know how to find them. I went yesterday and picked up my new GABA. Oh, GABA Chill. And the reason I'm super excited is because I've been working on it since last year. I wanted to get a different flavor and a different taste, just so I could tweak it. This one tastes kind of like orange creamsicles. It's really, really good. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a great success. And it also, the cool thing is that it actually comes in a smaller bottle, so it's cheaper for me to ship it, and it fills the bottle all the way up. So like this is the old GABA, just so you can see. This is a new GABA, Okay, this one, when you open it, it opens up here. And I never knew this until this was all done, that it only came out here. So it makes it look like there's not as much in the bottle, but this one is jam-packed full. And it looks like that. Super, super, super excited. I'm going to give a discount today for you guys on here. I don't normally discount my products unless it's for Tammy or the Energy Healing Conferences, but I'm going to give you a better one even today on this new GABA Chill, because I want you to taste it and see what you think, and then you can let me know. So let's talk GABA. What am I even talking about, guys? If you haven't heard me before, I am the amino acid lady and hypnotherapist. I'm a certified addiction recovery mental health nutrition coach. I specialize in amino acids. I specialize in feeding your brain. That's what I do. And I feed your brain what your brain eats. Does that make sense? So you have these really cool neurotransmitters in your brain. They fire happy, calm, feel good chemicals. And when they're firing, that's what you feel. When they're not, wow. Lots of different things, lots of different symptoms. You could feel anxiety, depression, worry, stress. Anybody have stress in here? High stress. You know, we all have stress, but it's when stress overtakes you, right? And you physically feel it, that uptight, overstressed, can't calm down, not in your stomach feeling. Or maybe it's lack of sleep. How about lack of energy? How about cravings and addictions? Yes. Well, that's what happens when those neurotransmitters stop firing the way they're supposed to. We have symptoms and we have cravings or addictions that come along with it, because as humans, we like to live in a world of homeostasis, right? We like to live in balance. And when we're not in balance, we go out looking for something to answer and make us feel better, right? That's what we do. And it could be sugar, it could be starches, it could be caffeine, aspartame, it could be drugs and alcohol. It could also be behaviors such as, and I want to clarify, before I said that, I want to clarify, because these things in themselves are not bad. It's just when it overtakes your life, when you find that all you want to do is numb out or reward yourself or feel love, then you turn to these behaviors, such as excessive exercise. Exercise in itself is wonderful, raises the endorphins, right? And endorphins make you happy. If you have ever seen the show, Legally Blonde, and she says, there's no way she could have killed her husband because she exercises. Exercises causes endorphins. Endorphins make people happy. Happy people don't kill their husbands, right? So endorphins are wonderful. They're wonderful. When it turns to excessive, that's where the challenge is. Or too much shopping, gaming, gambling, too much TV, too much social media. I can tell when my endorphins are low because, first of all, I like to go. I find myself wanting to go shopping. And the funny thing is there's been times when I get this adrenaline, this endorphin rush by going and buying something, and then I get home and go, why did I buy that? And then I get the same, and endorphin rush, taking it back to the store. Does that make sense? It's also if somebody self-harms. That's where the endorphin issue hits, is when somebody is cutting or they're pulling their eyes or their hair or anything like that. And I have a story where my youngest daughter, who she was in 7th grade, she came home one day and all of her eyelashes were gone. And I was like, and she had beautiful eyelashes. I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened? She's like, Mom, I was in cooking today and I opened up the oven and it was a gas oven. And right as I did, somebody flipped on the switch and the flames came out and they got my eyelashes and my eyebrows. And I'm like, I was so heartbroken for her. I was like, oh my gosh, you're kidding. And I was so sad. I'm like, okay, Mom goes into gear. What do I do? We'll get some fake eyelashes. Whatever we can do. And we spent so much trying to figure out how to help her. get these eyelashes because they were beautiful. Well, the thing is we didn't find out probably until about 10 years later that she said, Mom, that was a lie. My eyelashes and my eyebrows did not get burned off in class. What happened is she was on the bus and she happened for whatever reason to pull out one of her eyelashes. And when you self-harm, there's two symptoms. You're either so not feeling, you're feeling numb and you want to feel something, or you're feeling so much and you want to release it. And the instant you self-harm or you do something to your body, it floods your body with endorphins. And endorphins are wonderful. And that's why some people self-harm. And that's what happened is the very first time she pulled out one of her eyelashes, endorphins flooded her body and she loved it. And then it was where she would pull out her eyelashes and then she was tweezering all of her eyebrows constantly until she was bleeding, tweezing her face, getting her hair off her arms, you know. That was because those endorphins are so amazing. And so what I want to teach you is, are you ready to upgrade your brain? Are you ready to look at these different neurotransmitters in your brain to see, hey, could it be a neurotransmitter issue? It may not be. However, there's a big possibility that it is. And most people aren't talking about it. And that's the hard part is, you know, when I learned about neurotransmitters, and why did I learn about neurotransmitters? Well, many of you have heard my story. My youngest daughter is an addict. I am the mother of an addict. Right now, I want to say recovering addict, which has been a blessing. It's been wonderful. But at age 6, she was diagnosed with anxiety. And I did what moms do. I put her on some medication. And at age 15, she came to me and said, Mom, I'm tired of being a Dr. Science project. I just want to feel normal. And for her, normalcy came from, first of all, trying alcohol, which led her to marijuana, which led us down a path I wasn't familiar with. I didn't understand addiction at all. It didn't make sense to me. So I kept saying, just quit, right? I mean, she got in trouble as a juvenile. And I'm thinking, every time she'd get caught, I'm thinking, whoo, she got caught. She'll stop, right? But she didn't. And then she got out of high school, put her in a rehab center. And within 30 days, she met with her friend who was in the rehab center with her, who put her on meth. And that was the scariest time of my life. I lived in panic every single day that she left my house. You know, I thought going to jail would stop her. And after 4 times going to jail, I'm like, that's not stopping her, right? And so there had to be answers, and the answers came learning about neurotransmitters that, like I said, as humans, we like to live in this state of balance. And when we don't, we go looking for something to make us feel better, which just happens to be that drugs and alcohol are part of that. They're the scary part, especially the illegal drugs. And it was such a scary time. And when I learned about the connection between that there are these neurotransmitters that fire, right? I was actually angry because I thought, why didn't I know about this when my daughter was 6 and struggling with anxiety? Had I known about it then, she may not have self-medicated at age 15. And that's why I'm so passionate, is to get this information out to you and to the world that, first of all, you can help children at age, young children, by feeding their neurotransmitters, because neurotransmitters become depleted for a few reasons. One is you're born with less of them. So children that struggle with focus and anxiety and depression at a really young age could be a neurotransmitter issue. Sometimes it's toxins, sometimes it's lifestyle, sometimes it's diet, and sometimes, guys, if you're over 40, 60% of the people over the age 40, your neurotransmitters have become depleted. So if all of a sudden you start feeling these anxiety, these feelings, and you're like, why am I feeling it this way? You know, the last 2 years, we've lived in, so many people lived in fear, right? I thought it was interesting. I was thinking the other day that, you know, 2 years ago when everything happened, people kept saying, I just want to get back to normal. I just want to get back to normal, right? Well, here we are 2 years later, and the only thing we know about normal is that there is no normal. And the thing that I've learned about our brain is that our brain likes patterns. Okay, we like to live in patterns. And when we can't find a pattern to lock into, it's hard for our brain to adjust, right? And the crazy thing is I went to Costa Rica in January, and I was talking to our driver. I said, "How's this affected you?" And he told me how he felt. And I have a friend in New Zealand, and I asked her, "How's this affected you?" So not only are we handling all these things individually, we're also handling it globally, right? And as a human race, our brains are not geared to not see in patterns, to not know what the next step is. And so because of that, it causes these symptoms, these feelings. Well, by feeding the brain food, which are specific amino acids that literally feed the brain, you can help to raise those neurotransmitters. And then the neurotransmitters can start firing. Now, the really cool thing is it takes a little while for the neurotransmitters to catch on and go, "Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do, is start firing." So, but the cool thing about the amino acids are, if you need them, you may feel a difference within 20 minutes or less of taking them. Even just start taking the first one. That is a really cool thing about them. And then you're feeding the brain what it needs. You're supporting the body with nutrition, because protein is non-negotiable, guys. Protein feeds every single part of your body. It's so important for you to check and make sure you're having protein at least 3 times a day. I don't care if you drink it. I don't care if you eat it. I don't care if you drink little tiny Premier Protein bottle things that have 30 grams of protein and very low in sugar. Something to feed your brain. But by supporting the brain with the food, and then feeding the brain with the amino acids, super cool, super, super cool. And so that's what I'm going to be speaking about. Specifically, let's just talk about GABA for a second. GABA is your body's ability to relax naturally, to calm down and relax naturally. And when it's not, it's that uptight, overstressed, can't come down, not in your stomach, like I want to bite somebody's head off feeling. It could look like, let's say you have a child that every time something exciting happens, the day before going to school, the day before Christmas, all these great events, and now they have a stomach ache. And you're like, why is it that every time something really cool happens, they have a stomach ache? Right before a test. For an adult, it could be going right before they go out to speak, right before going and doing something socially. Any of those kind of things can cause your stomach to start to feel like it has a knot in the stomach, like you're sick. Really what's happening is your GABA is low, and GABA feeds GABA. So GABA doesn't have to convert to anything. It just goes right into the GABA and helps you to feel better. That's the cool thing about that, guys. The other thing I'll be talking about, the other thing that I do is I am a certified hypnotherapist. I love hypnotherapy. It is amazing. It's not brain, it's not mind reading, it's not mind control. If I could do that, I control my children when they were teenagers. If I could read somebody's mind, I'd rather read my husband's, I think, right? It isn't. It is where you're hyper-focused into something so that you can figure out what's going on, right? We go through in and out of hypnosis every single day. If you've ever driven somewhere and you get there and you go, I don't know how I got here. Or if you're on your phone or your kids are on your phone and somebody's trying to get your attention and they think that you're ignoring them, and you're not. You don't even hear them. That's a hypnotic state. And what we're doing is we're looking for those false stories in hypnosis, or those beliefs that you've had since you were really small, and changing them so your brain sees that there's a difference, that those are no longer your stories, and that you're ready to change, right? Whether that is more confidence, or whether it's weight loss, or not good enough, not worthy enough. Those are a couple that I see a lot. The desire to have to be perfect at everything you do. Those are some really big ones I see. Feeling resentment, feeling anger. Those are some of these things are stories that are hidden down in our subconscious that we're not even aware of. By doing hypnotherapy and doing hypnosis, you can get to what they are, right? Because the conscious and subconscious can figure out what's going on, right? In between the two of them is a filter, and that filter develops about age 7, 12 years old. And once it's developed, it doesn't know what stories are over here. It just knows that when something comes at you that isn't true, that filter goes, that's not true, right? That's not true. And so it's powerful. So by taking 3 things, brain, body, and emotion, putting them together, it's like a 3-legged stool. You're hitting all parts of the brain and the body connection. I wrote a book, and it's called Feed Your Brain, Change Your Life, Take Control of Your Brain, Body, and Emotions. It's powerful. It talks about my story. It talks about each of the amino acids. It talks about hypnotherapy, how they all work together. You can get it on Amazon. It's pretty cool. So I got that, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see you in Idaho Falls.
I was muted. Sorry about that.
I'm like, oh no, what did I do wrong?
You're good. You're good. I love it. Thank you so much. And yes, since I had that concussion last week, I have been taking some of your amino acids, and they have helped me. So I'm really grateful for that. And I've had other people also share with me some of the things that they've taken from you that have helped. For example, I was at an appointment just yesterday, or 2 days ago, rather. And my friend was telling me about your Happy Trim product, saying how good that is, that it makes it so that she's not hungry. And I'm like, oh, I might need some of that one. What is that one called?
That's actually called Trim Fit.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah, so you were close, but it actually lowers your leptins in your body, so the hormone leptins, and makes it so you're not hungry, and raises what's called adiponectin, which burns your body fat. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and put your website down in the comments so that people can go to your website to get your book or to get their own package to find out which ones would be best for them, connect with you. So
yay. And I'm going to give a discount, Tam, just for your people here.
Cool.
For the next 4 days, when you order the new GABA, you get 15% off. And normally I don't give discounts, and normally the discount, if I do, is 10%. So what they need to do is go to the website, Hypno Aminos, and the discount code is going to be new GABA. They're not going to see it on the website. I just got this last night, but they'll just order it and it'll say new GABA, put it in the discount code, and you get 15% off. Yay!
Awesome. There you go. I went ahead and put it up there. So is it all close together, no space? New GABA?
Yeah, new GABA, one word all together.
Okay.
And it's just on the GABA because I want to see. I'm rolling this out, and I'm curious to see what people think.
Okay, tell us real quick 1 or 2 things. Why would somebody want the GABA?
So the GABA is going to help. It feeds GABA, and it's going to allow you to relax. It helps with stress. It helps that panic feeling. It helps that knot in the stomach. It helps when your shoulders are and your muscles are super tight, and your body's not able to calm down by itself.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.
Okay, see ya. Oh man, that was awesome. I love her energy, and she's got so much color. She's just awesome. Well, our next speaker is somebody that we have had at our conferences before. And I have to be honest with you, you guys, when I went around to the vendor space at the last conference, there was one booth that was so packed that you couldn't hardly even get up to it. You didn't even know what it was because there was just so many people. I was doing a Facebook Live and I'm like, what is happening here? And it was Dr. Mike. He's the president of B3 Sciences. He's one of the top experts in the world of BFR. He teaches health professionals, trainers, athletes, and everyday people, just like me and you, or you and I, there we go, in all 50 states, and how to implement this exercise technology into our lives. So let's go ahead and bring him on, welcome him to our virtual stage today. How are you? Oh, it looks like you're muted as well. Let's go ahead and get you unmuted, man.
How you doing, Tammy? Great to see you again.
Awesome. I just barely got my package from you. I'm so excited. So I'm going to have you go ahead and introduce yourself because I'm guessing that there's some people on that also do not know what BFR is. What is that?
Well, BFR is a technology we found in Japan about 8 years ago, their Japanese athletes were using it in the World Championship games, and they were kicking our butt. And nobody could figure out everybody thought they were doping. Here we come to find out they had these bands on their arms and legs that this Japanese doctor had spent 40 years developing that allows you to exercise very easily. Imagine going for a walk, lifting 1 or 2 pound dumbbells, and you tried it, Tammy, doing something really easy that in a million years would never create enough fatigue in your body to cause a change. But imagine, now walking feels like you're running up and down the stadium stairs. Lifting light dumbbells feels like you're doing heavy weights. Doing a Zumba class feels like you're in a 45-minute CrossFit, just killing yourself. And then imagine growth hormones surging more than you've ever had it surge your entire life. And you start to get an idea of what this new technology is.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and turn the time over to you, but I definitely would love to just make sure that you're really touching on that, because the thing is, people who are busy like me, I like to exercise, but I have 8 kids and I have a busy business and I have all of this kind of stuff. So I love how you bring this in. So it's really good for athletes, but it's also really good for just the everyday person like me. So I'm excited to have you talk about it. Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. And I will pull up my screen for everybody. I'm going to show a presentation here. Let me get it pulled up so everybody can see what's going on here.
While you're pulling that up, I'll just let you know really quick that it takes me just a second because I have to approve it. But you can go ahead and pull that up, and then we'll make sure it's all set up for you here.
Okay.
So that's perfect. Thank you so much. Yeah, we've got a few people on saying, this is awesome. I play softball, and this sounds wonderful. Heck yes. All right.
Okay. Is everybody seeing my full screen now, Tammy?
Yep, we're all good to go. Thank you.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Mike, the board president of B3 Sciences. And in today's presentation, you're going to see a change in exercise that's forever going to change how we exercise, how we approach health and fitness. I'm not talking about Billy Blanks and Tybo. That was great. Billy punching. That's a fad. I'm not talking about dancing to the old fad. This is a scientific breakthrough. We have figured out how to biohack exercise, meaning we've figured out how to dramatically improve how easy it is to do exercise and how to get fast results. And if you heard me talk just in the beginning, we found this in Japan, and then we brought it over to our Olympic athletes. Now, look, I know we're not Olympic athletes. Trust me. Look at the pictures on the screen there. We're going to get to kids, seniors, moms, dads, recreational athletes, because that's the big ones. But we first started in our Olympic athletes, Bodie Miller, Lindsey Vonn, Michaela Schiffer, Ted Ligety. The results were unlike anything we've ever seen. And then I launched a company called B3 Sciences because I knew this was going to change how everyday people exercise. In the first year, we had pro and collegiate teams that had joined. Kansas City Chiefs are using the bands. Los Angeles Clippers are using the bands. Atlanta United soccer team. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Last year, we saw health professionals, Dr. Oz, Dr. Mercola, physical therapists, rehab centers, athletic trainers all across the country implementing this new way to exercise. But here's where it's heading. As Tammy saw in that booth that we had there with Amy and Kelly, congratulations to them. This is for everyday people who go for a walk, play pickleball, have some old exercise equipment. Don't go to them. Go to the gym. Don't like to exercise. Like to exercise. This is going to apply to every single person. What does it do? Let's quickly get into it. Look on the arms and legs of these people. Now, we are reducing oxygen flow. So all of you have seen probably the people that put the oxygen mask on when they do cardiac activity, aerobic. What is that doing? Well, when you have less oxygen in your muscles and lungs, you adapt. You create fatigue that causes your body to rapidly change. But that happens in the cardiovascular system. These bands go on your arms and legs. They're easy to put on. Anybody can get them on. My 85-year-old mom puts hers on. You put a little air in them. Now, first of all, you might be thinking, ooh, blood pressure cup. It's not a blood pressure cup. It's not rigid. It's not wide. It cannot cut off blood flow. We are simply slowing down the flow of blood going back to the heart. Completely safe. Everybody can do this. What does that do? That lowers the available oxygen. I want you to imagine now that your muscles only have half as much oxygen and you go for a walk. You do just a squat. You do a static lunge like that girl's doing there in the white ties. Not weights, not bouncing up and down. You just bend forward and do a lunge. And very quickly, you feel the burn in your muscles like you're doing 10 times the amount of work. Or you walk up and down the steps at home and you do it 2 times and it feels like you just ran 10 miles. What's happening? Because you have reduced oxygen, your muscles fatigue 80, 90% faster. So the first benefit is you don't have to do high intensity exercise. If you love the gym, great. If you don't have to go to the gym. You can do something you like to do. Rebounder, vibration plate, yoga, rowing machine. We have videos that you can do at home that don't require any weights. You can go for a walk. You can go for a swim. They're waterproof. And you're going to feel a burn in your muscles. Not painful, that lactic acid burn that turns on the body's adaptive system. Next, you're going to fatigue deeper than you've probably ever fatigued in your life. Now, you might be thinking, ooh, that's going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. And unless you do it very hard the first time, even after the first time, you won't be sore. But once you get used to them 2 or 3 times, you're not even sore the next day. So let me repeat this. You're doing less than half the work in half the time. Think 5 to 10 minutes. You're getting a fatigue like you're working out for an hour. Your joints don't hurt because it's easy. You're not sore the next day, and you get a big growth hormone surge. And let me tell you something. You turn on growth hormone, natural surging growth hormone in your body, it's like you're training like an Olympic level athlete. Your metabolism goes through the roof. Your cardiovascular system, your bone, your thyroid, everything gets better and younger. And you get you've ever trained in your entire life. And here you are just doing something light and fun. This is what exercise looks like for the normal person. This is measuring oxygen flow. It could be weightlifting. It could be going for a walk, riding a bike, anything you like to do. Here's the problem. Most people cannot fatigue their muscles in hypoxia, meaning they can't get the oxygen level low enough. They can't exercise hard enough to get down to where you produce growth hormone. 99% of the population, even if they're exercising, they don't get any growth hormone from exercise. Makes sense, right? We're not bodybuilders. We're not Olympic level athletes. We're not sprinters. We can't do those things. But look what happens when normal people do things like yoga, standing on a vibration plate, getting on the rebounder, going for a bike ride, walking the dog, walking up and down the steps, doing one of our easy to follow exercise videos. Look at the oxygen deficit. You're getting down in oxygen deficit, the wonderful burn, like you're training like an elite level athlete. And this turns on growth hormone. And you know, we talked about this just a second ago. The difference between high intensity and low intensity. Look, we all know you're not going to go for a walk and build muscle in a 6-pack. You're not going to tighten up your arms. You're not going to firm, your gluteus maximus. It's not going to happen from walking. It's not going to happen from moving 1-pound dumbbells. And you're not going to Zumba your way into a lean, muscular, healthy blood pressure. Why? It's light exercise. But you run the stadium stairs, you lift heavy weights, you bang the ropes for 45. We know what's going to happen, right? That's called high intensity exercise. And very simply, if you're getting high intensity exercise because you feel the burn. That's lactic acid. Not only is that natural, that's exactly what you need to do. And I hear people say, oh, lactic acid, that's not good. oh, no, wait a second. If you're not producing lactic acid, your body's not in shape, because this is how your body responds. You feel the burn, you create lactic acid, you get growth hormone, metabolism goes through the roof, fat levels come down, your body starts burning fat everywhere. I'm talking about fat everywhere, on your organs, visceral fat, stubborn fat, cellulite. It all starts getting burned because of growth hormone. And look, what I'm telling you shouldn't be anything new. When you were in school, exercise every day, right? Harvard, our government, the CDC says it. We need vigorous aerobic activity, vigorous strength training. And if you're on this call today, let me explain something to you. Vigorous aerobic activity is not going for a walk. Vigorous aerobic activity is going on the stair stepper for 30 minutes and watching, your favorite TV show. That's not vigorous. That's called movement. Movement isn't going to change anything. Vigorous is you feel the burn, and you need this for your body to function optimally. Why? Because as you get older, your growth hormone slows down. Look, when you're a teenager, everything's great, right? You can eat anything you want, and your growth hormone is surging. But when you get into your mid-20s, you are now getting half the growth hormone that you were getting in your teenage years. But many of us in our 30s and 40s, look at your natural growth hormone levels, 20% of what you got as a teenager, and everything starts to change. Now, here's the good news. You can combat this by getting optimal levels of growth hormone every day, but you've got to do the high intensity exercise. If not, you're already in your 30s and 40s and your skin's changing and your body composition changes and your joints start to ache, and high blood pressure and atherosclerosis start to settle in, and brain cognitive problems start, and then bone density problems start. Ladies, insulin resistance starts to creep in, even hypothyroidism. And unless you are 80 or 90 years old, if you're getting these things, advanced aging, early aging in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you shouldn't be. It's because your body is operating on low growth hormone. You aren't designed that way. You're not designed to be a couch potato. You're not designed to sit at a desk and come home and eat and then go to sleep. You are designed to exercise vigorously every day. But look, we've been hearing this preaching for our entire lives. We know this. We know what it takes. We all have the same problem. Who's got the time? I mean, I don't have the hour in the gym. I don't have the 20 minutes to drive back and forth. Between the hour and the drive, that's an hour and 40 minutes, right? And many of us have physical challenges. This is one of my big ones. I have 3 joint replacements. I have a knee and 2 hips. You know why? Because I did high intensity exercise for 40 years and I beat up my body. Now there's nothing left. And the next problem, there's a lot of people that are trying to exercise, but they're not getting any growth hormone. They're not creating the burn, so they're frustrated. You add all these up, and we have very few people, I would say less than 1% of our society, of people that are getting optimal growth hormone levels, optimal levels of metabolism, and are creating anti-aging in their body. But just stop for a second. What would life be like if you could do high intensity exercise every day? Didn't hurt, took you 10 or 15 minutes, was easy, you weren't sore the next day? Let me tell you what it'd be like. You would live a completely different life. First of all, every time you looked in the mirror, you'd be proud. You wouldn't be looking at going, oh man, look at that, look at that. You wouldn't have weight problems, okay? You wouldn't have blood sugar problems. You wouldn't have hypothyroidism. You wouldn't have bone density problems. You wouldn't have blood pressure, cardiovascular problems. Those things don't happen in people who get good high intensity exercise. Well, now everyone can do it. Everyone 5, 10, 15 minutes a day. And you see all kinds of people there. Seniors, bikers, pickleball players, people in wheelchairs. Everybody can do this. You simply put the bands on and do something you enjoy doing. And ladies, let me tell you something. You start turning on growth hormone, you're going to turn back the clock 10, 15 years. You're going to look younger. Your skin's going to be thicker. It's going to have more elasticity. Your nails are going to be better. Your hair is going to be more luscious. and every other part of your body is going to look and feel younger. What if you could simply walk 10 minutes a day? Don't need the gym, don't need the 45-minute CrossFit class. What if you could go for a walk? Walk the dog, go with the husband, go with the family, go to the store, right? Go to the grocery store, put your bands on, go for a walk, and your body responded like you're doing high intensity exercise. What if you didn't need 45 minutes or 10,000 steps on your Fitbit? What if in 5 minutes you could create a wonderful burn in your legs that felt like you went 2 hours? And what if you didn't need heavy weights? What if you could use exercise tubing that you can do any exercise with? By the way, when you buy B3 bands, you get a free set of exercise tubing where you can exercise from anywhere. Build muscle and have no pain or soreness. If you're a runner, biker, and swimmer, what if you didn't have to train for 2 hours, 40 miles, 100 miles a week? What if you could train for 15 to 20 minutes a day and blow away the competition that was training longer than you? And hey, if you got your workout you already love and you want to keep doing your 30, 45-minute workout, what if you could put the bands on at the end for 5 minutes and double your growth hormone levels? I'll tell you what would happen. You'd blow away any results you previously had. You'd blow through plateaus. You'd burn up more fat and you'd build more lean muscle. Why? Because you're hitting a deeper fatigue and turning on growth hormone. And if you're an athlete, you have athletes in your family, you have relatives who have athletes, or you yourself are a recreational athlete, you talk about an unfair athletic advantage. Emily, Utah volleyball player, put 6 inches on her vertical in 8 weeks. Dennis competes in the over 50 Olympic Games in the United States. Most gold medals he ever won was 1. He won 7. You put these on your middle school kids, your teenagers, your high school kids, your college kids, and they will have a complete unfair athletic advantage over the other kids who aren't training this way. And dieting. I know there's a lot of people tuning in today. You've tried this diet, you've tried that diet. You know what the challenge is? Dieting is not the problem. Every diet works. And we've got all kinds of wonderful diets out there because diets simply reduce caloric intake. Here's the problem. When you diet and you yo-yo diet and you repeat diet, you slow down your metabolism. So now you're eating less calories, but you're burning less calories and you're stuck. And then you stop dieting and what happens? You gain more weight than you lost. But then it's 5 or 10 minutes a day and elevate your growth hormone. And this is what will happen. You're now burning an extra 500 to 800 calories a day. So if your caloric burn was 2,000, now you're burning 2,800 a day. And if you go from eating 2,000 calories down to just 1,800, you created a 700 calorie deficit. You're eating 1,800 and taking in 2,800. Or better yet, why don't we exercise with the bands and instead of eating 2,000, let's eat 2,500, but we're burning 2,800. Let's eat more and enjoy eating because you're going to still be in a caloric deficit. You're going to burn more than you're eating. That's how you diet. And that's how you, not this month, not in 6 months, this is how you turn your body back into a lean, toned body for the rest of your life. Let me repeat this. You put these bands on every day, and you're 2 months, 3, 6, 9 months away, however much weight you've got to lose, to having the body you've always wanted for the rest of your life. Ladies, men with weight problems, this is how your body works. You try it any other way, and I'm telling you, you're going to fail every time. The human body needs elevated hormone levels from high-intensity exercise. Everybody can do it. Look at some of these people. It's not just everyday people. Mark Wahlberg is doing this. Nick Cannon, Thor, the God of Thunder. Dr. Mercola is doing this. Dr. Oz is using the bands. USA Olympic teams, NFL teams, MLS soccer teams. The USA Olympic weightlifting team is using the bands. Bodybuilders. Why would they use it? Why would athletes at the top levels? Same as me and you. They put the bands on, even though they're exercising at a level you and I typically wouldn't exercise. It's easier. They're reducing their time and amount of work they've got to do, and they are fatiguing deeper. Just like you and I will be able to fatigue deeper, they fatigue deeper, and they get better results. So I can tell you this, if it's working for the NFL and the Olympic teams and the soccer teams and all the pro teams and the famous doctors and celebrities, it's going to work for me and you and everybody that's on our call today and everybody that's watching on Facebook Live, even kids. You know what the challenge is with kids? Kids can lift weights. Kids can build muscle. We just have to be careful with their growth plates. That's the only challenge. Well, with the bands, we don't have to worry about that because they lift light weights. You talk about building some physically fit kids, some kids that will be superstar athletes. You get them in the bands and watch what happens. And let's go to the other end of the spectrum. We have seniors in wheelchairs, can't walk, or who are active, building muscle in their 70s and 80s. Why? Because they can do light exercise. Not only does this help their body with strength, it improves cognitive function, cardiovascular system. Look at this science. Growth hormone study, middle-aged men. That's me. I'm 58 years old. That's everybody out there, 30, 40, or 50, that are not elite level exercise people. Exercising without BFR. This is people exercising hard. They're sore the next day, getting a very small growth hormone release, 0.32 nanograms per milliliter. Look what happened to these middle-aged men when they did it with BFR bands like B3. 25 times increase in growth hormone. Let me put this in perspective for you and me and Tammy and everybody's listening. When you put these bands on and you do the workout, we're going to send you all kinds of ways to work out with videos. You're going to experience more growth hormone in one workout than you've probably experienced in your entire life. Now, imagine if you did that 5 days a week, 7 days a week. What would happen? Surging growth hormone levels 7 days a week. Well, imagine you went to the smartest hormone doctor in the world. You spent $5,000 a month on growth hormone injections, but they weren't synthetic. They were your growth hormone. I'll tell you what would happen. You'd turn back the clock 20 years. You'd lean up. You'd get more muscle. You'd be healthier, especially if you were doing exercise. That's exactly what you're going to do when you use the bands. Look at this study. The bands increase bone density, ladies. 3 weeks of walking, not weightlifting, not going to the gym, not Igor the trainer screaming in your ear. No offense, trainers. If you're a trainer, great. If you've got a trainer, keep going. But I mean, walking in the bands, ladies, dramatic increase in bone density. Walking in the bands, younger cardiovascular system, improvements in hypertension. Walking in the bands improves blood sugar metabolism, brain benefits, immune system gets stronger. Thyroid, ladies, this is a big one. Here's what most people don't understand about the thyroid. Hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, it's not a disease process. Now, what I mean by that is it's not due to some external factor. You are not inflicted. Yes, it's a series of symptoms, but it's really a dysfunction problem. Here's why. Your thyroid does not produce thyroid hormones on its own. Look up there at the chart. You need thyroid releasing hormone or thyroid stimulating hormone. These are released naturally, and they tell the thyroid to produce hormone. Guess what happens, ladies, as you get in your 20s, 30s, and go through childbearing years? Thyroid stimulating and releasing hormones slows down. It's not your thyroid. It's the stimulating hormones that are not causing the thyroid to produce it. The American Thyroid Association, read that, what it says on the left side. Every hypothyroid patient should do regular high-intensity exercise. Why? Because this is how you turn on the thyroid gland. So ladies, when you go for a walk in the bands, do some light exercise, do some yoga, go for a bike ride, do one of our exercise videos for 5 minutes, you're going to increase this signal to your thyroid, potentially significantly improving thyroid. Even varicose veins get better. This is a study. People with pain report that their pain goes away. Jennifer, fibromyalgia, 15 years of pain, gone. Tim, pickleball player, 20 years of knee pain, gone. Why? Growth hormone makes your body younger, heals your body, repairs your body. And we have safety studies. Look, we pioneered this industry. We came out with this BFR technology about 8 years ago in the Olympic athletes, and then we perfected it for general population. And we have conducted safety studies. What this means is when the bands are on your arms and legs, compared to exercise without the bands, there was no increased arterial pressure. That means it's safe. And back at your heart, there was no increased oxygen demand. Your body thinks you're doing exercise. But, oh, you're going to feel it in the muscles you're working. You're going to get that wonderful pumped up feeling, that light burn, and you're going to know it. Let me tell you something. When you feel this, you're going to smile. You're going to know inherently, I'm doing something. Oh, I feel the burn. Oh, I feel the pump. You know what's going to happen next. Ladies, you're not going to build big muscles. You're going to build toned muscles, lean muscles, attractive muscles, what everyone desires, that toned, lean, vibrant looking body. Now, here we are in 2022, and I can tell you 3 years after launching this, everybody's going to exercise this way. Because from a standpoint of science and physiology, there's no benefit to not using the bands. If you're exercising and the bands aren't on your body, here's the only things that are going to happen. You're going to do more work. You're going to have more soreness and recovery time needed, and you're going to get less growth hormone and less results, which means if you're exercising, walking, biking, yoga, weightlifting, playing pickleball, hitting golf balls, walking around the mall, dancing, in your house with your kids, bands should be on, and you should be releasing growth hormone. So with that said, I'm going to come to the screen here where you can learn more about getting started. First of all, if you want to get a set of bands, Tammy and Kelly will inform you where you can go to get started on these. The first benefit is you're going to get a 30-day money-back guarantee. You get 30 days from the day the bands arrive, not when you order, the day they hit your doorstep to try them. If you don't love them, send them back. Dirty, sweaty, smelly, doesn't matter. Send them back. We'll give you all your money back minus the shipping fee. But here's what I can tell you. If the bands go on, they're not coming back. I can promise you that. Because once you go bands, once you try these, you'll never go back to the old way. If you'd like to get started, 0 down, 0 interest, we have that program. For about $80 a month, cost of a monthly gym subscription, you can get in the bands. And by the way, the bands are going to last you years. And most people are going to last 4 or 5 years. So they're only going to cost you about 30 or 40 cents a workout. Even better, the best benefit of all, most companies charge you to coach you. We provide free lifetime coaching. We're going to send you an email, how to use the bands, walking. Here's the walking video. Here's the hiking. Here's the home workout. We have over 100 different exercise videos for you to choose from. And if you ever have any questions, we are going to be there to answer them. What does this mean? You're going to know how to use these wonderful bands. You're going to have all kinds of fun ways to put them on. And we're going to be there always to answer questions. To get started on the bands, they are $449. You get a set of arm bands and a set of leg bands like you see there on Olivia. And you get a 1-year warranty. And I can tell you this, they're going to last a long time. You're looking at about 30, 40 cents a workout if you use them 3 or 4 days a week to reduce the load, reduce the time, get better results, turn on growth hormone. If you'd like to learn more about a sharing opportunity, I'm not going to spend any time on this one. We have options for you to join as what we call coaches, or even we have a founders program that you can learn more about. And we are even looking for people who want to be certified coaches. We even teach a 5-hour program. And it's not a doctor program. It's not a health professional. It's an online program where everybody can actually get certified. And you can be the certified coach in your area that will be showing everybody in your area how to do this. We even do online presentations. So with that said, I am going to stop the presentation now and stop my screen sharing and bring this back up. I'll just do a little live. I want to show you real quick how easy it is to get the bands on, okay? First of all, here's the band. If you look inside here, you'll see these multiple air chambers. This is a patent. We are the only company in the world that can do this. Why is that important? It's not a tourniquet. It's not a blood pressure cuff. When I put it on my arm, it doesn't squeeze all the way around. It's like a bunch of pressure points around the arm. It's comfortable and it can't cut off blood flow. How do I get it on? I simply slide it up my arm. So I'm just going to slide it up nice and easy. Okay. I'm going to strap it down with a Velcro. Everybody can get it on. You'll notice a little valve right here. I just take the handheld pump. Now the number to pump it up to, we put the number right on this pull tab to tell you how high to pump it up. This band is a 200 band. So I just snap it on, pump it up to 200, and I unhook it. Takes me 10 seconds. Now, it's not hurt. It's not compressive. I'm moving. It's just a gentle squeeze. But here's what's happening. This blood flow that's going back at this rate, it's slowed down a little bit. Just a little bit. Enough to bring the oxygen from here down to here. Here's the whole key. When our oxygen's flowing at a normal rate, we got to exercise way up here. High intensity, heavy weight lifting, sprints, banging ropes. That's hard work. If we bring the oxygen down here, we only got to do things like go for a walk, bike ride, lift light weights, use some exercise tubing, get on the rebounder, swing golf clubs, and you are using more oxygen that's flowing, and you feel that wonderful pump and burn in your muscles. You wear them for about 10, 15 minutes. When you're done, you push the little button here on the end, lets the air out, pop it off. These are waterproof, sanitizable. I can wipe it down with an alcohol wipe. I can go in the water and swim. I can get in the hot tub. And when they get smelly, I can put them in the sink and soak them. I can even put them in the washer on the gentle cycle. Waterproof, guaranteed, last you for years, easy to get on, patented, won't cut off your blood flow. This is why celebrities, NFL teams, this is what they are using. So with that said, I'm super excited to share this with you because here's what I know. You put these bands on and you start doing something fun. I'm not talking about you go to the gym. If you go to the gym, great. I'm not talking about you got to go to the gym. You got to hire a trainer. If you got a trainer, great. You're ahead of the game. I'm talking about find anything you like to do. It can be walking the dog. We've got a 4-minute workout we call 4-minute booty. Ladies, it's 4 minutes. No weights, standing in the middle of the floor, doing some squats and lunges. And you talk about building firm and tone in your legs and glutes in 4 minutes. So this is about, what do I like to do? You can see I got the elliptical machine behind me. Why is that back there? Because I like to work. I like to work 16 hours a day. I don't like to go to the gym. This is all I do every day. So, hey, I take 5 minutes and I go get on that thing. And then I grab my exercise tubing and I hook it up to the wall and I do 5-10 minutes. And I mean, I'm 58 years old. I got a 6-pack and I got guns and I barely do anything. But here's what's most important. I've got elevated levels of growth hormone and I feel and operate like I'm in my mid-30s. In my 50s, and that's what all of you are going to experience. So I'm super excited that Kelly invited me here and that I got to meet Tammy in this wonderful community that you're all part of. And I'm going to see if Tammy wants to come back on now and see if anybody's got any questions.
Okay, so I just put mine on.
Yep.
and it doesn't feel tight. So can you help me?
Yeah, so just slide it up a little bit higher, Tammy, above the bicep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's all you need. Now hook up the pump and put some air in it.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
this is my very first time trying it because, I didn't know how to do it. So I was watching you when you were putting it on. I was like, that looks easy. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Can you do this on your abs? That's what Shelley Jo wants to know.
When you do it, well, when you do it on your arms and legs, now you're going to have growth hormones. So at the end of any program you do for your arms and legs, you just do some light core work, a plank, some sit-ups, and your stomach and back is going to shrivel up. It's going to get smaller, and you're going to build strength down there. So push that little, pump it up to 200.
Yeah, I was just looking to see what the number was.
Yep. And then the little metal clip on the end of the pump where you got it hooked on, just push that down, pop it off. There you go.
That's way easier than
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be. That's all I do?
That's all you do. We've just slowed down the blood flow a little bit.
Oh my
Tammy.
gosh. Okay, sweet.
Yeah. And then you just do something light. Now you got to exercise, right? You got to use more oxygen than's flowing, but that's not going to be that hard.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, I think I can actually do this, and I'm going to actually come on and do it. Because I got it, but then, sometimes you just are a little bit hesitant if you don't know how to use it. But that was easy.
Yeah.
And I also was going to comment, I didn't realize that email that I got had all these extra videos and stuff too. Do you know I pay about $45 a month for an app that has videos on it? I guess I can save that money now because I can go get the videos with your stuff, right?
Yeah. Or you could keep using that, put the bands on and do all the videos on there. I mean, whatever, you can enhance, you can add, you can replace, or whatever you want to do.
This is awesome. I'm so excited. My husband said, why didn't you get some for me? Because I only got some for me.
Well, now that yeah. So Tammy, do this. First thing you do, put the loop through first.
Okay.
Put the loop through the little buckle.
Like this?
Yep. And then you want to slide it up with the buckle through it. So the buckle's already through. Yep. And then try and get a little overlap. Just push the back flap under the front one. There you go. And then just snug it down.
That is awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome. Okay, you do have some questions that are coming in while I'm hooking up my next pump here. Somebody says, how do you know what number to get?
There's a size chart right on the order form. So if you go to the website down there, kc.b3sciences.com, just go click on shop. Right when you're in the shopping cart, you'll see the sizes, but they come in 1s and 2s for the arms. Me and Tammy have the 2s on. They come in 3s and 4s for the legs. And you just wrap a string around the top part of your arm and lay it on a ruler and just do a quick size, just do a quick sizing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times spouses and, husbands and wives can wear the same bands.
Yeah.
So you would just get that up a little bit higher, Tammy, on that arm. You'd want it to get a little higher.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're actually watching me do
Take
it.
the pump off first, then push the metal clip, pop it off. Let the air out. Push the white tip on the end in, this little tip. Push that in a couple times. Yep, loosen it up and slide it up. Yeah, slide up a little higher. So when you make a bicep, it feels like it's above the peak. Perfect. There you go.
Okay, cool. Okay, so somebody's saying, is it always 200?
Well, once you start using it, and now you're exercising, we'll teach you that on the instructions. If you don't feel the burn, hook the pump up, put 50 more pounds of pressure in. Like these are 200 bands. I work out at 325 on my left arm and 275 on the right. It took me 2 or 3 times to figure that out. Oh. So let's say you start off, you pump it up to 350. It's not going to hurt you, but you move your arm and you're like, ooh, that hurts. You don't want to do that, right? So you want the highest number that is still comfortable. So most people settle in at about 50 higher than what's on the end of the band there.
Okay, I actually feel kind of stupid that I couldn't figure that out at first, but I mean, honestly, it still took me less than 5 minutes. So there you go.
Yeah. And then Tammy, you did it great, but you're actually doing it the hard way. Your valve is pointing out you'd want to point it in. That way it's easier to get to it, but you still figured it out. So next time, just swing it around so the valve is pointing in. And by the way, people that are watching, there you go. You're going to get a first use video where I can show you exactly how to do this. We just got to get Tammy to open up that video that she got in her email. She's too busy.
That's awesome. And then when you're done with that, then you just push this and then pop it out?
Yep, push metal clip, pop it out. It's got the air in it. We've
Hey, if I can figure it out, anyone can figure it out. That was awesome. Okay, let's see. I've got a few other questions coming in. Let's see. Can you overwork your arms and your legs if you're working out for 20 minutes? This person, Mark, says, I keep hurrying working out only 5 minutes. No. If you're using the light weights we recommend, you can't hurt your muscle. And you're gonna feel a fatigue or a burn in your muscle, and you're gonna stop. You're just not gonna be able to go anymore. And you're probably not gonna be sore the next day. What do I mean by stop? Well, look, when your muscle runs out of oxygen, and then when it runs out of glycogen from the burn, there's just no more fuel. You're gonna stop because you're gonna feel like deep fatigue and burn, but it's such a light exercise that your chances of hurting yourself are almost nothing as compared to doing high intensity exercise, which is much harder. So, when you first start using them, go to like, ooh, there's the burn, and get a little fatigue, and then, take them off. But within a week or two, man, you're going to be going, whoa, and you're going to push, and you're going to feel that awesome burn. Your muscles are going to be all pumped up, and you're going to love it. I mean, it gives you all kinds of endorphin release. It's that runner's high stuff. What if everybody could get a runner's high in like 2 minutes? That's kind of like what it is. It gets you in the zone to where you just feel like high on nitric oxide. This is awesome. I'm so excited. Okay, now, how do I know if I have it in the right spot for my leg?
So on your legs, I will show you here. We just want to go up. We want to go high up on the leg. So I'm going to put it right up here. Again, valve pointing inwards the easiest, okay? In the back, we just got it up right up underneath the glute fold, okay? And we snug it down. Now, how tight should the band be, Tammy? It shouldn't slip. I've got it on and I pull it up and down. My skin moves with it, but it's not tight. So this is the perfect position, high up under the butt, right here, high in the groin. And then we just, like we did with the armbands, hook it up, pump it up. This is a 300 band. I'm ready to go. I've got it on my leg there, and I'm ready. I can go swimming. I can do anything.
You can even go swimming. Yeah, wow.
Now, people say, well, what happens if I go more than 20 minutes? Nothing. Look, this isn't 20 minutes is like a general range. Here's the point of short amount of time. You don't want to do long exercise. There's no way you can create the burn in your muscles for an hour. Time, just understanding exercise, time means nothing. The only thing that matters is, did you create a fatigue? The faster you create it, faster you create the burn, more growth hormone. Deeper you create the burn, more growth hormone, more muscles. So it's advantageous to go quicker, get that burn and be done in 15, 20 minutes. That's even, we have 5-10 minute workouts. That's where you get the best results.
I'm like so excited. You have no idea. I'm like, this is kind of fun. So I had it down too low. So I moved it up a little bit. Yeah. And I literally can feel it sitting here.
Yeah. So just do this, Tammy, while we're talking. Just get in a squat.
Seriously?
Yeah. Just kind of hold a squat at your desk while we're talking. Yeah, just bend down and keep talking and keep getting questions, and watch how fast you feel the burn in your leg muscles there.
I haven't even got up to 300 yet. And I'm like, I can seriously, my leg's like, woohoo.
Yeah. So do that for about 2 minutes and your leg will be on fire. And so, people can do it right at their desk.
Okay. I'm at 300.
Yeah. And just leave one on and just kind of get down in a squat while we're talking. And probably in 30 seconds to 45 seconds, you're going to feel that left leg is going to feel like you're running sprints.
That's freaking cool. Okay, so you guys, I would love to have you connect with Kelly Kreger. I've been kind of texting her. Looks like somebody's got her phone number listed here. You can also go directly to this website. I put it as the pinned comment, which means you can just click right on the link. But she's fantastic. You can definitely, oh my gosh, that's so nuts.
Yeah, your leg feels like you're squatting, doesn't it?
Yeah, like a ton, but I can feel the biggest difference.
Yeah, big difference in the left leg. The left leg's got less oxygen.
So is this going to help my butt?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I mean, when you start increasing metabolism, you're going to burn body fat and you're going to build muscle and tone. You're going to reshape your body.
Holy crap, you guys. I can seriously feel this so much. This is why you had so many people around your booth.
Yeah. And after the talk I did, we had more people than we could handle around the booth. Fortunately, we had 4 or 5 people, but we probably needed about 10 or 15, to help everybody.
Oh my gosh, this is nuts. I seriously am so excited. So basically I'm just keeping it on until I'm fatigued.
Yep.
Right.
Do something you like to do. The quickest is go walk some stairs for 2 or 3 minutes and then take them off. You're done. Your legs and glute muscles are going to firm up and tone up in just a couple minutes.
I'm so excited. Kelly, are you going to have these at the Logan conference or Idaho Falls conference? I think she is.
Yes. She told me she is for sure. So people in those areas can come out and try them.
I'm like so excited. You guys don't even know. Like I bought these because I was totally sold on them when I tried them at the conference. But then, but just having them like here and like actually using them, like putting them on like this, it's definitely different. So I'm excited because I looked at my calendar of how much I exercised over the last month and I was kicking myself so hard. And this is going to help me to jump that into high gear. So thank you so much. I'm excited. All right. If you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and we'll call it a day. It is noon, but I want to give you that number one more time in case you don't see Kelly's comment. Her number is 435-230-2722, and you can text her too. Her and I have been friends for like 20 years, but the reason why I really wanted to look at this was because she spoke so highly of her experience with Dr. Mike and all of the things that he's been able to help her with. She said his company has just been so reputable and reliable. So that's really good. It's good news. You know what I mean? So, all right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And
thanks, Danny. It was great to be here.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.